Hey, the average Joe here. Hey, today we're going to look at having your project appear as a top view instead of schematic, a side view on components. We have the ability to bring in a PDF background and kind of show a top view of things. So let's look at that. I'm going to start off by File, Open Example, and under Projects, Commercial, you'll see we have a demo plan, a new plan, boiler room plan view. Let's open that up. This is just an example of, let me zoom in here a bit, of how we have a boiler room. You can see pumps sitting on kind of a concrete base. There's the boilers over here, heat exchanger, expansion tank, air separator, little unit heater in the room. And then that boiler room's going out and serving a snow melt system out there, which has a load of 700 or 7,779,000 there. So that load is transferred to the boilers and in the system. So you'll see top view here. Uh, the little background is, you can kind of create that by using the little toolbar shapes over here, or you can bring in a PDF background and trace over it. We'll show that here in a bit. Then also File, Open Example, in the same place under Projects, Commercial, the demo and new plan. I had a steam boiler replacement details. This is a project I did many years ago with the software. We've been doing the software just over 20 years now. I went to the project, took my little laptop. I went in the boiler room here, and that was kind of a layout of the boiler room. I just wrote some notes on remove existing boilers, number 1 through 9 notes. I placed those notes around the components on my existing demolition of the steam system. Then I created a new steam layout, which you can see right here, which is showing the new boiler layout. These heat exchangers stayed in, and they have actually loads. If you go and look at the load on that, you'll see that they have loads. So the heat exchanger with loads, with its existing load, hook those up to my new boiler system, size the pipe for me automatically. And then I created details. There's the steam to hot water heat exchanger. And these are just all 8.5 by 11. There's a little legend over here. Then I created details of the PRVs, pump boiler feed, steam traps, you'll see. And then here's a little detail of the steam boiler with valves and fittings and more detail on that. You see up there, there's the boiler up there. It just has the boiler connected, and then here's the detail of it. So that was a little project, all 8.5 by 11 sheets there that was turned in this form. So now let's start off by going File, New. We'll go to New Project. Now you kind of see what we can do. Winter heating, summer cooling, economizer. Those are the scenarios we automatically set up for you. This would be the location. Let's say somewhere in Alaska. Okay, now I'm going to come here to File, PDF background, and I'm going to go to my desktop. And there on my desktop, I just have a PDF of a floor plan. I can open that up in here and just see what it is. That's the PDF I'm going to bring in. And now I'm going to add it to my project down here. So you can add more than one in a column and row. So I'm going to put this PDF in column 1, row 1. There's the name of it. I'm going to scale that down to probably 30% to fit on this little small sheet. It's an 8.5 by 11 sheet here. Hit OK, and if all goes well, we should have a PDF background. I'm going to just turn off the grid there. Zoom in on that background. Now, a couple things you can do on your background. If you want to remove the background, then I can come in here and just, I'm going to trace over. I'm going to hold the Shift button down just to kind of trace over some of the rooms, walls, right? So if I wanted to kind of just show all the rooms in there, I'm just holding that down. I hit the right key and deleted it. So this allows me to just hold the Shift down, go around and highlight those rooms, kind of on that example that I showed you that had the boiler room layout there. Okay, now you just put another wall in there if I want. So you can kind of do that layout. So when the PDF is gone, let's just get rid of the PDF here. I'm going to right click with my mouse, PDF background properties. There's the PDF. I could just make it non-visible and then start seeing my walls here if I didn't want to see that. I'm going to go backwards here to back where it was. So there's my room. Anyway, either way you can do that. Now I'm going to come grab a boiler. You see that boiler is fairly large, and it's a side view of a boiler. Okay, and I did that on purpose, so we'll just cut that off the project. So I'm going to come to Edit, and under Edit we have Insert Components with Top View. Okay, so now if I go grab something that's going to be a top view, I'm actually also going to come to Edit and hit Schematic Scaling and scale that project down to 25%, since this is on a small 8.5 by 11. So now I'm going to come back and grab that boiler. Now you'll see that boiler. You can kind of get a relative, that boiler's probably, 5 or 6 feet, and there's double doors, so I know it's kind of scaled about the same here. I could go grab a pump. Okay, top view of a pump there. And then let's say the air handler room is where, let's say we're going to have let's just say it's going to be an air handler in there. We'll just do a coil in the air handler. I could come in that coil and impose some load, so many BTUs, right? Put that many BTUs in there. So I leave the boiler room, go over to the boiler, go over to the pump. There's the inlet of the pump. There's the outlet of the pump. And come down to the air handler. Red means we're getting loads starting to pass back and forth. You'll see that loads transfer down to the boiler. A few other things. You can always come back later and add your air separator. Take in line, we'll drop that in there. And then we'll just put a air separator, expansion tank right here back along the wall. Put that in the pipe. So there we have a top view of a system in a boiler room. So you can really, have multiple floors, multiple PDFs on the drawing here, and just take off going. Now, you can always come in, and if I highlight all those, the little feature up here, there's the schematic view, side view of the boiler, side view of everything. There's the top view. So you can always toggle back and forth from either one component, right there. There's one component, top view, side view, or the whole project if you highlighted them. So anyway, just wanted to take some time to show you how to bring the PDF background in, file, PDF background, allows you to bring it in, go find it, add them to the rows and columns you want. Then I went in and did the edit. I checked the box to insert components with the top view. So anything I go, obviously there's a tank, top view, go grab us a water-cooled chiller, put that in the chiller room, top view there. And anyway, I hope this helps in laying out a top view of systems in HVAC Solution. Hey, thanks for watching.